So, last time when we were all together, just feels like an eternity ago,
Just a little bit.
you guys had gone on some rather interesting adventures. Luna went out on her own to the capital of Taklavat and encountered some Stellar Court members who took the liberty to remove her of her consciousness. And then a few of our other team members discovered some very powerful arcane power source deep in the bowels of the factory with very serious implications for its utilization and potential in getting the factory back online. And the rest of our team brought some druids from the Desert Circle to
You're
the
welcome.
factory in an attempt to kind of muster some collected insight and knowledge about what can be done to remedy the seeping sort of call it a plague or a blight that is infecting this realm of Fifth Mughal. After all of that, everyone was brought together in a climactic reunion when a large group of members of the Stellar Court showed themselves in the vault of the factory, knocking Luna unconscious, trapping several of you behind a magical force barrier, and paralyzing Taz the Goblin.
Poor Taz.
And it is in this moment where time seems to suddenly just crawl to a slow. Luna, you are losing consciousness as your body drifts slowly towards the floor of the vault. Blood droplets are flowing freely out of the gaping wound slashed across your neck as they drift in space next to you. As this is happening in your last moments before your blurred vision goes completely dark, I need you to make a awareness check for me.
Hey, that passes.
Excellent. As the main figure in the black and red cloak turns to address his lackeys and order them to retreat, you recognize and look into the eyes of someone that you had seen before, but not the actual person. In fact, it was a stone statue that you had seen, and a name that you recall reading from a plaque rings through your mind as your vision goes dark. Goventus Stallard.
Holy shit!
Then you don't feel anything anymore. You're adrift in the shadow once again. A familiar feeling of when you get lost in communion, I guess you could call it, with your patron. And you feel that dark presence creep into the periphery of your attention. He says, "Here we are again."
Here we are again.
All of a sudden, you feel a pulse in your consciousness, what's left of it. And you feel this strange tingling all across your body you recognize that something is wrong. And then all of a sudden, it's as if all of your limbs catch fire in an instant. You lose 1 momentum.
Oh, shit.
How much momentum do you have left?
3?
Okay.
I don't like that question.
As this is happening, Taz, you have been watching silently, paralyzed, as all of this has been unfolding before you. And ever since the moment when your body became locked in place, you could feel a stirring inside. I'm going to need you to make a soul saving throw for me.
All right.
Pass the fuck out of that.
Haha, not even
All
close.
right.
Okay,
So this is how it's gonna be, huh?
that's how
Apparently.
it's gonna be.
Oh.
You remain frozen and locked in place as you watch Luna's throat being slit. And from deep within, you feel a wave of emotion and power race through you and up into your arms and down to your fingertips, setting all of your limbs tingling with power. But there's no way to unleash it. I'm going to need you to make a mind saving throw for me.
Come on, work for me. Yes, I passed.
You do.
That's because I
Yep.
kept my mouth shut.
As this black and red cloaked figure turns and addresses his lackeys, you just watch as Luna's body slumps to the floor. Graticus gets his automaton going and goes down to swing for one of the nearby vampires. And all of this tense emotion and this conflict of the power that is consuming you from within, just unable to be released, the sheer force of it all, you're able to focus your mind, you close your eyes, you realize you're able to move your eyes, and then you break free from the spell. You have an opportunity to do something if you wish.
Can I throw an icicle at one of them?
You certainly can. Go ahead and make your willpower check for an attack.
Yeah, that passes.
Nice. Now, I will need you to roll a D100 for me.
All right. 81.
Okay. As you send out this ice shard, it pierces through the heart of this vampire that you are targeting. And as opposed to just one unleashed burst, you just feel all of that power that was welling up within continue to course through and just continuous stream sending power into the torso of this vampire, and crystals begin to pierce out in all directions from the center of this man's chest, and his body is literally torn asunder as he turns into mist.
Oh, hell yeah.
Poof.
And as his body disperses into mist, all of the ice shards shatter across the room as well. Luna, you lose another momentum.
Motherfucking shitballs.
Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die.
That's 2 left.
The vampires all react to this as many of them just vanish into shadows immediately. As this happens, the force barrier begins to disappear, and Graticus brings his automaton down, goes to smash that one vampire, but he dodges out of the way and disappears into shadow, taking what he was carrying with him, which was Dalen's resting place. But in this moment, Luna, you don't realize it, but your body has hit the floor at this point. You are on fire inside, and the dark presence surrounds you and says, "Something needs to be done here." You can
I'm
feel
just gonna be like, just kind of writhing in agony, I guess, at this point.
I know that this is not easy for you, the dark presence says. And you can feel a slight tether, something connecting you to something else outside. You don't know exactly what it is, but the dark presence says, if you're going to survive this, you need to trust me and take this. And it's almost as if he's kind of presenting the tether to you as something to draw from.
Okay.
What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna grab the tether.
Okay. And you take whatever is being offered to you?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
It's almost like a rope, and kind of this ethereal rope connects you to something on the outside, and you tug on it and you pull, almost as if you're trying to pull yourself out of a burning pit. And as this happens, you get this sense of familiarity, as if someone that you recognize. And as you continue to pull, all of a sudden, the ghostly visage of Dalen appears in the darkness before you. Do you continue to pull?
is he reacting in any sort of way? Does he seem like he can feel the tether?
Make a magic check for me.
That does pass.
So, in essence, you know that you're pulling on something that is directly intrinsic to Dalen himself. And basically, you can kind of surmise what is happening here. You are basically using his life essence to pull yourself out of whatever situation you currently find yourself in.
No!
It's either his life or yours, is what your patron is presenting to you in this moment. What do you do?
I'm going to stop pulling and look at my patron and tell him no. In kind of a sheer look of horror.
Dalian, his face begins to slip away back into the shadows, and your patron, you've never heard him angry before, but in this moment you can almost sense, you can't actually see him, you can just feel his presence, but it's as if all of its attention gets directed at you, this single point in space, as this omnipresent feeling of his power surrounds you. And he just says, "No!" Mallorin, or Draco, both of you
Yes.
watch as the force field begins to vanish along with the vampires in the room on the other side. Each of you have an opportunity to take an action at this moment if you would choose.
Gonna grab her body and rush it to Mallorin and beg him to figure out a way to fix her.
To work for you. Okay. Do I have enough time to use my medicine kit?
Yeah, first I will have Draco go ahead and make a willpower check for me.
I'm sure that passes. Let me double check though.
I'm pretty certain that's a pretty good hit.
Oh yeah, that passes.
You don't even necessarily rush to Luna, but somehow the sands of the desert come to your beck and call, and they basically sweep themselves underneath Luna's body and rush her into your arms as you turn towards Mallorin and basically just kind of lay her down in a position where he can treat her. And you said, Mallorin, you were going to try to use the medicine kit.
Yeah.
So that enables the person who it's being used on to make an endurance check, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes. Is that
So Luna, you would be the one making the endurance check to heal.
Mm-hmm.
actually that's doing
Yeah. No, that doesn't pass by any means.
I see. You have any momentum to spare? Would momentum
Nope.
get you there? Oh, okay.
No.
Alright.
If that doesn't work, can I try using restorative essence and use a health point in place of a momentum point?
Yes, okay. So this is what you had attempted a second ago to try and do this very same thing to heal Luna. I will allow you to make that check, make a faith check for this, since you're kind of stretching the limits of this ability that you have. And as you apply the medicine kit, you can watch as all of a sudden shadows seem to be seeping out of Luna and drifting across the floor and dispersing into the ether all around her. And you can tell that whatever is going on here, you begin to apply your medicine, but it's something deeper actually affecting her from within.
Arethellis, please tell me that was not your freaking check.
Sorry.
Okay. So, you begin to extend yourself. You try with all your might. You're calling upon the power of Zeleneth, and you're to the point where it's could cause you bodily harm. But as you extend your hand to reach down to Luna and pass this power into her, it's as if it hits a roadblock. It goes right to the fingertips, but it doesn't go any further.
Right.
And it's almost as if you can feel Zenith's presence kind of holding back a child from a scene of tragedy, trying to keep them away from whatever, trauma is unfolding before them. Luna, I'm going to need you to make a body saving throw for me.
That's a no. And my body is a 7.
Okay. You lose another momentum.
You fuck.
Can I make an awareness check to see if there's anything around that I can use to try to help heal her? I know we're in the vault. Is there any...
Yes. Go ahead and make that awareness check.
That fucking...
That's a strong hit for you, isn't it?
It's a strong hit, yeah. That's beyond a strong hit, yeah.
So...
Because it's 50% or better, right?
Yes, if it's half or less. So you take a look around, and on the table where Graticus initially found his experimental potion, you see a vial of liquid, which is a thick, viscous red. You recognize by running over, pulling the cork off, taking a sniff, it does seem to have the essential base elements of a healing potion.
I'm gonna go pour the whole fucking vial down her throat.
Just like that.
Just not even, no hesitation.
Nope, she's gotta live. This has gotta work.
Okay. So yes, you successfully bring the vial over to Luna and basically tilt her head back and open her airway, her throat, enough so that it will not choke her as it goes down. Luna, I'm gonna have you roll a d100 for me. $42. Okay. Very interesting. Luna, you are drifting in the darkness, and you feel the full attention of this presence just centered on you, this one infinitesimal point in space. And you've never felt wrath from it before, but at this moment, as your very soul is burning alive, it's almost as if the being is about to stoke those flames and consume you entirely. But then all of a sudden, there is a slight warmth from within your chest that spreads and begins to replace the heat of the fire that was racing through your veins. And as moments pass on, the tingling subsides and you begin to regain feeling, and you can move your limbs, your fingers, your toes. And as opposed to being submerged in darkness, it gives way to a gray fog that then begins to clarify as Luna opens her eyes once more. You gain 1 health. Luna is once again conscious.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Luna probably wakes up and is freaking like swinging fists and screaming. Like
she's just like went down swinging, and she comes right back up the same.
Yeah.
The rest of you all watch as the remainder of the Stellar Court disappear into shadow, and Radicus, his automaton, ceases to work as if it had run out of batteries, and he hops to the floor, kicking at the ground, frustrated. And you guys all watch as the wound in Luna's neck, even as the liquid was passing through her throat, it seemed as if you could see these faint red glow from within, patching up the hole and repairing a majority of the severe damage that had been done there. She still does have a rather large gash, and Valor and you proceed to apply bandages to stop the blood flow, but you see that it is no longer severe enough to the point where her life is in danger.
Wait.
Leon and the others gather around Luna as they try to comfort her and do whatever they can to, put padding underneath her body. Luna, you are drained. You feel like you just got hit by 3 freight trains. And as much as you tried to come back up swinging, your fist kind of flops through the air in a half-hearted attempt at a punch, as you can barely move yourself at this point in time. What do you guys want to do as the dust begins to settle in the vault room and you find that you are left alone with Torgrin and several other goblins rushing up also to Luna's side, and several of the druids that had come with you arriving to the scene as well?
Taz is gonna look up and be like, "No one freezes Mr. Freeze and gets away with it. Bastards."
Freaking Frozone
I think-
over here.
I think we need to take Luna back upstairs where the desert druids are and lay her in her quote unquote her space, her room that we have built up there, so that she can rest. And I'll see if we have any of the desert druids that has the ability to be a shaman or anything to keep over her and make sure that she's going to make it through the night while we all rest. Regain ourselves, because we're not doing anything until she comes back around. At least I'm not.
So you kind of direct several of the druids to basically carefully bring Luna up to the barracks where you guys have your private quarters to stay, and just very gingerly and very slowly and carefully making sure not to open up any of the wounds that she has suffered, as there is also a rather significant gouge in her side that Luna doesn't even seem to be aware of at this point.
I'm gonna make note, Luna's gonna be giving you the death glare the whole way up.
Giving who the death glare? Me?
Everybody.
Everybody. As Luna gets lifted off the floor, there is a kind of a moment where it seems as if her shadow is left behind, but then it catches up so quickly that you kind of have to do a double take, and you're not sure if you're just losing it from the traumatic experience and coming down off the adrenaline, or if you actually did see something.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
shit.
Graticus is basically poking around the vault and seeing that several of the shelves had been kind of tossed and looked through, and you can see that some things are actually missing. So Luna is being carried back up to the barracks. Draco, are you accompanying the druids who will be escort or bringing her up there?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not leaving her side right now.
Okay. Mallorin and Taz, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm just like trying to get my wits back about me, like after being frozen. And I'm just like kind of mumbling, and nobody freezes Mr. Freeze. Fucking frozone ass people.
Mallorin, what about you?
I think I'm gonna go find a place to rest too.
Okay. So, you begin to head up towards the barracks as well, kind of following this procession of people that is basically making their way up to where you guys can recover and take stock of what the hell just happened and try to sort out what has been lost.
Speaking of stuff getting lost, can I like do a perception check to see what they actually took?
You may. Go ahead and make an awareness roll.
Okay, awareness. Oh boy. This is gonna be bad. No, not even close.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Dude, I didn't say anything this time.
Snaz would be making awareness checks like left and right now, considering.
Yeah, no, he would be. Unfortunately, he can't do that himself, but let's see. Nope. There's just so much that is out of place that it's going to take some time for him to kind of take inventory of what is still here and what isn't.
Yeah.
But
I tried.
Luna, you get taken to the barracks and you're laid into your cot. And across the ways, you see the empty room of where Dalen would rest as well. Draco, you kind of take a knee beside her and make sure that the druids are doing all they can. And several of them are, affecting their magical healing, whatever that may be. But at the time being, it seems that it is not necessarily the most effective. It's just kind of...
Jesus Christ!
Basically what's happening is it's going to take time to heal what has been damaged. And, immediate medicine is just kind of putting bandages on top of bandages at this point.
So Luna is just currently on life support?
She just needs rest. That's really what's after several minutes of the druids kind of just checking and making sure and, double bandaging, that's what they conclude, that she just needs time to recuperate at this point.
Ouch. Well, I guess I'll walk up to Luna and, I mean, she's conscious, right?
She is awake, yes. But she's just exhausted.
Right. So I guess
I'm just staring across the hall at Dalen's room, because I'm assuming I do know that he was taken.
You heard his... go ahead and make an awareness check.
Oh, fuck. That's a pass.
Okay, yes. You heard his voice as he cried out and saw the of him vanishing into smoke.
So I guess I'll walk up to Luna and kind of rest my hands on her shoulders or whatever and just tell her, look, I know you're upset that he's gone. We will fix this. But first, you need to get better. And we have other things that we need to work on in order to be able to make sure that we can get him back for good this time. But we will work. I will work with you to help you. I know how much he meant to you. We need you to get better.
She's just gonna side-eye him for a second and then look back across the hall.
After a couple of moments, one of the goblins comes rushing in with a tray, and basically what's on it is like juice from a freshly squeezed fruit that the druids had quickly grown out in the factory floor, and there's essentially like, a shoddy goblin pastry. And he sets it on your bedside, Luna, and says, "Here, this will help with the, leaking."
The leaking! Unfortunately, with the way that with just the way that Luna is right now, she's not gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at the goblin that brought it in and say, "It looks tasty, but you should eat it instead."
He kind of like looks between you and Draco for a second, and then kind of produces like a pastry that he snuck out himself from like underneath his clothes, and just starts nibbling on it. He says, "I'm good," and then runs off.
That's too damn cute.
Taz,
Hunger strike won't bring him back.
It's not for him.
Okay, well, hunger strike won't bring you back.
it's got a point.
You need to eat some food so that you can gain your strength.
She's just gonna look at him and say, "Maybe later."
Okie dokie. Guess I'll leave you to it then. And I'm gonna walk out of the room and let her rest.
Okay. As you do so, the one druid who you had sent to help secure the hole that was in the vault floor, not the vault floor, but the floor,
The wall.
the subfloor,
The main wall, the hole we knew about.
Yes, exactly. He says, "Well, I got that all patched up," and he kind of like has a little flame like on the end of his finger that he blows out. Is there anything else that needs fixing around here?
Well, I guess we have other ways that people have gotten in here, apparently, because while you were fixing that up, we got attacked. But I don't think there's a way we can fix that hole. They seem to have phased in. I need to assemble a group of druids to try to get a look further into the whatever the hell we're calling this, the plague or whatever the hell's attacking.
The blight.
The blight. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
We need to.
On the desert.
We need to get a start on figuring out where the epicenter of this is, exactly and what we can do to help control it, since we know that it's happening other places as well.
That's a good point. What it sounds like, you said these attackers phased in?
They're and I'll inform him of the Stallard Court and
Okay.
let him know that they were, in fact, vampires that phased in on us.
Several of the other druids kind of gather around and kind of tune into this conversation as it goes on, just kind of familiarizing themselves with what just happened down there, and just like, we've been here for 5 minutes and there's already been an assault. And then as they kind of understand what you are telling them, like, all of them begin to understand the gravity of the situation and who is involved. And they say, it sounds as if they had means for scrying and for teleportation of some means. There are druid rituals that we are aware of to help protect against such things. We can begin to establish those sorts of fortifications around this place, especially if we want to focus on the blight and not be interrupted, I guess you could say, by
Yes,
such an event as this.
Given the fact that we didn't know they were coming or even know that they knew where we were at, I would say that it's a very good idea to get somebody doing something to help protect us here, because this was, we knew of them. We thought we were safe from them. We didn't know that they could find us this easily.
We will organize our people to begin to lock it down in that regard with these rituals that we are aware of. There's no guarantee that it'll absolutely prevent such an assault once again, but it will definitely make it much more difficult for anyone trying.
And that would be much appreciated.
So they go and they kind of speak with Torgrin, and he kind of uses what he knows of the factory defense organization that was going on, and kind of help coordinate that with the druid rituals to kind of make sure that everything is well covered. Malloran, at this point, you've been kind of like slowly following the whole procession up to the barracks, but you kind of stopped as they were starting to kind of funnel into the barracks, and there's just too much traffic at the time that you couldn't necessarily like follow in. But
gotcha.
As you stand there, the voice of Zeleneth kind of comes into the back of your mind, and she says, "We cannot get too involved with the situation that your friend finds herself in. It's too dangerous for you. We don't know what sort of intentions the being that possesses her has with our goals." Do you say anything in response?
I mean, that wasn't dangerous.
You ask how it's dangerous?
Yeah.
The nature of my power is that of the spontaneous and chaotic, some may say. You know this from the studies that you have learned from communing with men. unlocking the power that you possess within. Her patron, we may call it, uses that same sort of principle, but in a much more twisted and perverse way. If our powers are to get too entwined, who knows what the ramifications could be.
What are you saying? What do you advise that I should do or not do in the future?
Well, the way I see it, there are two things that can be done. Either we find a way to eliminate the entity that controls her,
That should be easy.
or we distance ourselves from her entirely. As this conversation goes on, you get a strange sense, and you kind of feel Zeleneth directing you to a particular location in the factory. I'm gonna need you to roll an awareness check for me.
Fail. Bad fail.
Okay. You start following the sensation, but as you go along, there's just so many people now going up and down and back and forth and through the hallways, and it begins to distract you, and you lose sense of where Zeleneth is trying to guide you until eventually the feeling fades.
Damn it.
Is there anything else that you guys wanted to attempt before you try to get some rest and recuperate?
Can Luna walk?
At this point, barely and not very far.
Well, shit. So she
You
wouldn't
could
be able to make it.
probably ask for assistance, but the druids highly advise against increased mobility at this point.
I was gonna say, so she probably couldn't make it down to the vault if she wanted to.
Probably not. They wouldn't even want to bring you anywhere near there anyways, even if you had help.
Well, shit. Okay. Another question.
Go for it.
How far is Malloran from me?
You don't know where he is right now.
Oh, shit.
He's Malloran is currently off wandering the factory trying to follow something, but you don't know that.
Okay.
You could try reaching out to him.
I was more gonna try reaching out to Zeleneth more than Malloran.
Oh, okay. Well, you could do that too. You're not sure, you're not necessarily a cleric by any means or
right.
a person of faith, but you can certainly, do whatever Luna thinks is appropriate to try and reach out to a deity.
Just gonna try and call out to Zeleneth, like just kind of a general, reach out to see if Zeleneth will answer.
Okay. Make a faith check for me.
You should have advantage on this growing up in a freaking monastery.
Not all monasteries are strictly faith-based.
Technically, I could use a momentum and make that pass. That would leave me with 0.
I will say, at this point, you do not think that the factory is any immediate danger for the night.
Fuck it. I'll use the last momentum I have to make it pass.
Okay. You reach out your consciousness and just kind of close your eyes in like a meditative state and just reach out. And you feel a presence. It's shifting and changing on every second. It's something different. You do sense something is there, and it kind of acknowledges your presence almost wordlessly.
I'm just gonna call out and say, Zeleth, I could feel that you're there. Why don't you show yourself?
Okay. Make a charm check for me.
A charm check. Yes!
Charm the pants off that deity.
Right? Okay. So, you basically kind of push in and try to like lean into the presence and seek basically an audience. You've never done something like this before, so you're not exactly sure how it's supposed to work. But you're just like, basically your sheer force of will, just, pressing yourself into this entity's attention. And all of a sudden, you kind of feel like this potential well up within you, as if you could do anything, be anyone, go anywhere. And just kind of like you could just get up, even though you are totally mentally and physically drained, go out and accomplish some task. And you hear the voice of a deity, Zeleneth. She says, "What is it that you would have from me?"
Well, I don't want anything from you. Let's get that straight. Second off, why do you keep taking Malarin away from me?
I'm going to need you to make a soul saving throw for me real quick.
I swear to God. Yeah, no, that doesn't pass.
Oh boy, and that's a crit.
With 1 HP.
So
0 momentum.
This doesn't affect necessarily your physical well-being, but basically the way that this unfolds is Zeleneth speaks to you once again and says, "I am not keeping him away from you. I'm keeping you away from the thing that's within you." And as she finishes that sentence, all of a sudden, there's this explosion in your mind as you feel the dark presence from within crash over your consciousness like a wave. And you fall into a dream. You are asleep immediately.
Fuck. I was really hoping I'd keep my character from actually falling asleep. After earlier.
the connection that you felt with Zeleneth suddenly disappears, and you find yourself adrift in shadow. But the presence that suddenly made itself known at the very forefront of your mind, just as quickly as it appeared, is also disappeared. Is there anything that Draco wanted to accomplish before he rests, catches his breath?
I guess I will convene with the druids and attempt to
Snaz.
see if we can accomplish a starting point for our search as to what's going on.
A starting point.
A starting point from where we're at as to where we need to go to continue researching what's causing this blight.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so we're back on factory stuff? Cool, got it.
You guys are.
Welcome back,
I guess.
Okay, well, while he's doing that, Draxus,
Mm-hmm.
am I still alive?
You are alive, and you're kind of you're currently fiddling around in the vault, trying your best to sort out the mess of basically the overturned shelves and stuff that has been rifled through.
Okay. Can I... Well, shit, if I'm doing that, then I probably can't do rolls for, stuff.
Rolls for stuff?
The base actions.
Oh yeah, while you guys are here, not necessarily.
Okay, yeah. I can't... Okay, so I can't, like, command some goblins to go do that.
I mean, you could, like, you know, once we actually settle down to rest for the day, a full rest, you can, you know.
Wait, can I call in more goblins to help with the shelves in the vault?
You could.
Maybe help speed that along?
Yeah. Okay, so you basically summon several of the goblins from, you know, the rest of the factory, and they rush in trying to organize themselves, and you eventually get them into like a sorting order where they can start, you know, organizing stuff again, repairing damaged containers and stuff like that.
Alright, cool.
So Graticus, you basically... Do you leave the vault to the goblins to kind of sort out and organize?
I'm not going to leave it solely to them. Like, I'm still going to be there assisting.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm going to let them do, like, the bulk of the work. I'm going to be more there just, like, you know, making sure we didn't lose any, like, things super important and, you know, maybe giving some small guidance here and there while needed.
Gotcha. So you would know that Luna has been taken up to the barracks, and she can barely move. She is exhausted. Was barely saved from death, and is resting. And then the rest of the party
some kind of
follow.
cool little potion that I saved her with.
Okay. Should I send some goblins to attend to her?
She won't take them right now. She's a little unconscious again.
Yeah, she's asleep. But as time is going on and you're kind of sorting through all of this mess that has been made of the vault, are you able to check your character sheet right now, Graticus? Or should I have to make rolls for you?
You're going to have to make rolls, but I can actually check I'm on the first page of my character sheet.
Okay. So I'm going to have you real quick roll a intellect check.
Can
I'm
somebody roll
guessing.
that for me?
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm guessing a 4 passes.
Yeah.
That's a strong hit too, isn't it?
Considering my intellect is a 12, yeah.
Nice. So you're going around and sorting through all of this. You suddenly catch an idea in your mind, and a thought that terrifies you to your core crosses your mind.
Okay.
You remember the crate with the giant ley crystal.
Yeah.
You guys do not know where it is because you never gave any specific directions to the team as to where to store it or what to do with it.
I thought we were still carrying it.
No. No.
Nope, you guys left it here.
God
And
damn.
didn't he give it to a goblin and tell him to put it somewhere safe?
No. No, he
No?
didn't.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
Oh my god.
Okay. Can I rally some more goblins and instruct them to find the crystal?
You definitely can. And at this point, you go rushing out of the vault and you are just begin racing around the factory, just peeking in every corner, every nook, trying to locate this thing. Eventually, Torgrin catches up with you and says, I had them put it kind of near the barracks, just kind of off in the storage area. And you go immediately running over to that shelf. And the crate is there.
Can I open the crate to make sure it's still in there?
You walk up to the crate. You look at the lid. It's just like you had left it. You grab onto the lid and push on its hinges to reveal an empty interior with nothing but cloth lining sitting at the bottom.
Damn it.
That massive blue glowing, just raw power source is gone.
Well, I proceed to walk out of the room, throw up my hands, and say, "Fuck!"
Even with all this racket, Luna, you're still asleep.
Probably.
Do we have a PA system? Can I get on
Poor-
that shit and be like,
Poor
"Mayday,
girl is
mayday."
fucking like 20 feet under in the darkness right now.
I mean, I'm assuming I hear him scream "fuck." Because I mean, we're
Everybody
right there
else
at the
does, yeah.
barracks.
Everyone who's currently awake still just is hear Granicus's voice echo throughout the factory.
Yes, I'll come to see what's the commotion.
As I see you walking up, I'm sitting there with my hand, like with my head in my hands, panicking, just chant the screaming over and over. It's gone! It's gone! It's gone!
What's gone there, Granicus?
The crystal! They took it!
Oh boy. Well, that complicates things. So they took Dallin and the crystal.
Yep.
We have to go after them.
Well, Luna's kinda still convalescing at the moment. We don't have a full party of people. And have a feeling she would not let us live it down if we went
Without her.
and didn't. Yeah, if we went and didn't take her to help us find Dallin and the crystal.
I understand, but every moment we let it get further and further away, the less chance we have of recovering it, and the more chance they have of figuring out how to use it and using it against us. If anything, we should go. If anything, let's take the night. We'll go at first light, but not a minute later. We already know that the vampires are working with the orcs, so I think we have a pretty safe bet of where we can start.
Yeah, you're right there. I would agree that we need to get to this as soon as possible. Who do you recommend we would all take? Because I don't know that we can go up against the vampires without a certain person's patron. We barely made it out of that city with our lives last time.
Oh, if we're going, we're all going. Your druids, the goblins. This is DEFCON 1, man. Like, this is not good.
Druids are here protecting the factory. I don't know.
Guess what? Maybe it's time that we bring the factory with us.
Bring the factory with us. How do you suppose we do that?
I don't know. Do your little grass magic. Make plant legs. I don't care.
Plant legs.
It's genius.
Fucking house moving castle. I'm sorry, I'm fucking out of character, but
So good. Without the extra power of the crystal that was once in the crate, you don't know if you guys have magic that is strong enough to facilitate such a feat.
I was gonna say I don't think all the druids in the world would have enough power to do that.
But you know what? I have the power of belief.
I guess
think it can be so.
I guess even though against
the power of friendship.
Against all of my will and all of my better judgment, I would look at Graticus and remind him that maybe we do have a way.
I'm listening.
But we're gonna need the druids to agree to this, otherwise it's not happening.
I'm listening.
You have a room with an immense power source. We need to show it to the strongest druids and see if there's anything that they can pull off of it, or if they're even willing to try to pull magic off of this source to accomplish such a feat.
At this point, as much as I'm not even sure if I like that idea, I don't think we have a choice.
Fuck. I guess I pull as many of the druids together as I can, and Graticus, and I'm gonna have to pull Taz in on this too. We all gotta go down to that room and show the druids and explain to them our insane idea.
Look,
to see if they believe that this can be done.
I don't care if it's carried across the sands by walking vines, if it's flying, but if we go up to that city, we are going to need everybody, and we're going to need any kind of advantage we can get.
Okay, so you guys are going to round everyone up and bring them down to the vault floor?
Yep, all the druids and Taz and Graticus and I are going to go down and see if we can surmise some way to do something or even if they believe it's possible to do without fucking destroying the Earth.
Just blowing up the
Planet.
planet.
I mean, to be completely fair, if we don't do something, if they figure out how to tap into that crystal, they could possibly destroy the planet.
So, you guys kind of round everyone up, and basically there's just a massive parade down to the vault floor where this power source is kept. Rodicus, you do know the pass key to unlock it and reveal it once again.
Uh-huh.
Gonna need all of our druids to make willpower checks, and Grodicus, if you can make a cleverness check for me.
Go ahead and roll it.
I'm gonna burn my 2 momentum and make that pass.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Am I gonna burn momentum? I said willpower.
I passed.
Nice.
Oh fuck! I forgot that I can't do that.
You got a 12, Grodicus.
You changed it.
I passed because I have a 16 for cleverness.
Okay.
How the fuck do you have 16 for cleverness?
He's probably been dumping every every extra point he got from leveling into it.
Actually, no, also to be fair, I have racial bonus.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
I have 16 willpower.
Jesus!
Nice.
Dude, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, sweet. Suck less.
We min-maxed hardcore.
To be fair, I kind of needed to for my character.
Yeah, I guess I'm burning my momentum to make it pass. Actually, they passed. Is this one of those things? I'm gonna metagame. Is this one of those things where we all have to pass in order for it to work?
I'm gonna say that the ratio of passes to fails will kind of reveal us more information or less,
All right,
depending on.
I'll burn my momentum to pass.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna metagame here.
I mean, to
like, we
be
need
fair,
a win.
technically, that is metagaming.
Uh-huh.
Technically, I gave it to him though. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So, with all the king's horses and all the king's men, you guys try to piece together this puzzle of what actually is happening here with this power source, and can it be retrofitted or redirected or converted or something? And basically what you discover is none of the druids have any freaking clue how this crystal is wired. They're not engineers. But you are able to surmise that something is off with the way that this is configured. And all of the druids gathered around, Taz and Draco included, are able to kind of direct you, Grodicus, to realize and find there is a flaw in the circuitry that is allowing basically a power leakage that is very slow, very subtle, but it has gradually been continuing, and you think it's been this way for a long time.
Oh, I wonder if that's what the blight is. The fucking leakage of ley magic from this crystal. Interesting.
But just looking at the circuitry, Grodicus, there's no obvious escape route for the energy. It's almost as if just it's being cascaded as excess off of the cords. Because in your mind, looking at this setup, there's no reason that it should be leaking, but it is.
Can I use my ley goggles to get an enhanced view? Because I mean, if it's obvious, if it's ley magic, and the circuitry is funneling ley magic through it, then with the goggles giving ley vision, I should be able to find if there is any kind of leakage or even almost like a fucking power, like a power runoff in the form of like energy field.
Mhm.
He's looking for the leak.
This should help the leaking. Go ahead and make a intellect check for me, Chronicus.
Roll it.
So that is a 7 on the dice.
I have an intellect of 12, so good to go.
Nice.
Smarty pants.
You take your goggles and just kind of looking, you see that, yes, the crystal is magical. Yes, the cables are channeling magical energy. It doesn't get more refined than that necessarily. It's just detecting the presence.
Uh-huh.
You take the goggles off of your face and you adjust some of the lenses and kind of twist and recalibrate. Take a couple of pieces of glass from around and kind of like grind it down and basically do like a quick, MacGyver some extra lenses to kind of click into place.
Oh my
over.
God. Like it's a fucking jeweler's glass. I can just
Right.
drop lenses over.
Exactly.
Fucking here for it.
As you put them back on and you kind of test different configurations and you're kind of seeing it and like different hues, different even colors. It changes colors depending on what lenses you're using until all of a sudden something clicks into place and you can see much more vivid detail of what's going on with this situation. And not only do you detect that the crystal is magical, the cables are channeling magical energy, you can actually see these wafting, basically waves of blue power kind of drifting off of the cables themselves as if they were the smoke from dry ice.
Oh.
You're able to determine that there's nothing intrinsically wrong with the design of the configuration. It's just that the power is somehow actually shedding as it travels along the cables.
So what it sounds like is I need to reinforce the insulation around the cabling. Probably because it originally wasn't meant to funnel light magic.
That's a reasonable conclusion to come to.
I'll say yeah, because I'm sure at the time this was kind of put together, the understanding of ley magic was not as good in the intent of using it towards artifice. So probably our methods at the time were nowhere near as advanced as they need to have been. So I need to reinforce the cabling, reinforce the connections, and probably reinforce the receptors for the crystal itself that funnel it to the cables.
Yeah, you can see that the actual casing itself, the energy barrier is doing a good job of containing, the majority of the cast off from the crystal itself. But it's just doing that. It's containing it, and you can see that it's relatively densely packed, and it is continuing to increase as time goes on.
Yeah, and with nowhere to go, eventually it's going to just become a volatile substance.
Yep.
Yeah, so we need to funnel that out. That way we can start it fresh, but we also need to reinforce everything. And now that I'm thinking about it, if we reinforce the cabling and reinforce the receptors for the ley magic, not only could we probably funnel in more magic, by reinforcing the cabling, we can probably generate more power to the rest of the factory and probably be able to run everything like at super high efficiency.
That's a satisfactory talk that I was looking for.
Efficiency.
Okay, can I make a cleverness check of a sort to maybe see if I can deduce a way to do as I said, which was reinforce like the cabling and the receptors and safely funnel out the buildup of ley magic inside the containment field?
Yes, that's definitely something that you can begin drafting up ideas for. At this point, you realize that this is going to be not a one and done solution. You're going to have to take some time to really work out the kinks and see what works and what doesn't.
Gotcha.
At this point, the druids don't necessarily have an answer for it either. They do know of some rituals that can help prevent the continued pollution, essentially, of the region around the factory with this excess power that just sits and seeps in and corrupts. But as opposed to, when it comes to reversing that, they don't have the answers available to them at the time.
So, what I'm attempting to deduce at this point in time, are the druids, are we all of the consensus that this is causing the corruption?
Seeing one of the druids kind of like turns to you and he says, typically people try to avoid trying to harness ley magic because of, obviously in the past it has gone horribly and terribly wrong. So this greatly concerns me. I think that this is for sure the root of the problem.
Can I make a quick interjection? I just had an idea, and I think even the druids might enjoy this.
Fire away.
In my inventory, I have 5 power slugs.
Are you talking about Satisfactory again?
No, you gave me this. You gave me these.
Okay.
This was a loot item you gave me at one point. So 5 power slugs.
Were there any additional details attached to those?
No, you just gave them to me. I don't know. Yeah.
Do we even remember when you got those?
Yeah, when?
No, I just know that I had them on my original sheet because we got them. I think we got them in the jungle.
Did you get them from?
Oh, that's right. No, there was the wrecked automaton thing in the jungle.
Yeah.
And okay, yes. So those are power cells, not slugs.
You said slugs. You lied to me.
I think that's a coffee. I think that's a coffee stain copyright.
Everyone's my idea. Damn it.
Yes, because if you remember, they were actually like square casings that held like shards of ley crystal themselves.
Because I have a fractured power crystal, but then I also had like 5 power slugs. I was gonna say, can I like use the power slugs? Like I would assume, because they would feed off of the energy. Can I just use them to like eat the excess energy, like absorbing it for the time being? But since that's not how that works, because
yeah,
I've been lied to.
These are more batteries that can be recharged, as opposed to like actual organisms.
Damn it! It was a good idea.
Yeah, it's clever.
Oh,
I like it.
Hey, you know what? I have an idea. I am going to do something. I have Puzzle Solver, which allows me to make a mind saving throw to undo or discern the function of a mechanical or arcane gadget.
Wait, hold up. I have something to assist with that.
Oh, bro. That'd be the fucking best. I need my goblin, bro.
Gabros. What you got, Taz?
Hang on one.
But yes, Graticus, I would count that asset, that skill that you're trying to use, as you could use that for the check that you'll be making to begin the research on how to remedy this.
Yeah. So that's a mind saving throw.
You want me to roll for that now, or should I wait for Taz?
Well, let's see what he has.
Crap, I guess I don't have it. I thought I had something along the lines of when someone... it had something to do with mechanical stuff and identifying a mechanical thing, but I don't see it on my sheet anymore.
Oh, that might have been part of the update we did, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, never mind. I don't have anything to help. Sorry.
Okay.
Good looking out.
So it's a mind saving throw.
Okay.
And I take it, and I can subtract 1d4 from the saving throw because I have the puzzle solver ability at tier 2.
Gotcha.
And on a hit, I would successfully disable the device or learn of how it works. Take an extra momentum.
Okay. So subtracting the d4, you end up with a total of 7 on
I pass.
your cleverness.
I pass with a 13.
Nice. So you gain a momentum, even though it wasn't a strong hit.
I can't add it into my thing. Can you possibly do it when you get a chance? Or just write down somewhere that I have momentum?
Do you want me to do it, Jaraxxus?
Yeah, you can if you want. Go for it. I think I did, but I might not even have his latest sheet.
Yep, you do. I've only been using the one in the Google Drive.
Okay, cool. So then, I got it.
Okay.
He finally upgraded.
Da-da-da-da.
I've been upgraded. Okay, so on a successful hit, I either disable the device or learn of how it works.
So, real quickly, what are your personal progress tracks that you have on the story page?
Let me look. Like, what am I working towards currently?
Yeah.
I've got the Iron Gabo Sentience one, which is legendary, and I've got 5 boxes ticked.
Okay.
I have the Desert Recon Craft Blueprint and Prototype. I have no boxes ticked to that, and that's a... You never told me what to put that one as. I'm assuming that was going to be like a simpler or risky.
Okay, yeah.
And then I actually don't have any other personal challenges at this point in time.
Gotcha. That's right, because I think you might have accomplished one of the things that you were already trying to do.
Yeah, I had accomplished like the scrap shot.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and most of my stuff now is pretty much on the base, the factory.
Gotcha. Oh yes, the actual home base page.
Yeah, which I can't access for some reason. I can access like character story, GM sheet, path and skills, and encounter builder.
I see. Okay. So I guess this would technically fall under yeah, so this would count towards one of the progress tracks that you have on your home base page.
Yeah.
Basically retrofitting the factory and kind of like manipulating it, fixing it, turning it into something more than what it is currently.
Gotcha.
So I'm actually going to do 2 things. First off, you gain an experience for completing the Clean Repair Factory and Equipment Challenge.
Woohoo!
So I'm just going to mark one of your boxes on the track there.
Thank you.
Look at that. Good job. Also, Draco,
Yes.
you can mark progress on your legendary track of the Wild Speaker as you, having spent time in the desert and amongst the desert druids, and then in a moment of desperation successfully able to call upon the power of the desert to assist you in a moment of need.
Awesome.
You feel like you have attuned yourself to a level of familiarity with this biome.
Nice. Since we're on that track, I'm assuming we're not in the I'm assuming that we're kind of wrapping things up for the evening.
Okay.
Is that
Yes.
correct?
So
Okay.
at this point, Graticus, you leave the group to begin your research, and you feel like you'll probably rest, but you're definitely going to spend a good amount of the night doing research and drafting up plans.
I need to get a thing which allows me, whenever I take a long rest, to not actually sleep, just do research.
Gain
Sorry.
knowledge from research.
That's a non-racial feature for you.
Right.
Should it be
It's
a
just,
class teacher?
That's called being a college student.
I mean,
So I found the skill that would help me, but it did get removed between beta and last gen.
Okay.
So I wasn't crazy. I
I-
did have it at some point, but just not anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
good looking out.
So before I lose track, I want to use some of the knowledge that I gained from the desert to create myself a channeling room where I can something that kind of amplifies the power of the world around me, as in that area that I found in the desert,
Okay.
so that I can do meditation in my own space.
Okay, so you take a step. You follow a lot of the druids begin to return, interspersing themselves throughout the factory. This place is starting to seem kind of populated. Like before, when you were here, it was just the goblins all hiding out on the second floor, and it was just a no man's land. Now you see goblins kind of running about all the various hallways, and now that the druids are here, you know, the traffic has kind of increased. This is beginning to seem like a real inhabited place, and even the hallways themselves that used to be littered with dust and rusty, discarded basically scrap metal and tools that had been abandoned, are now orderly and organized, cleaned, and things are beginning to be stored in their proper places. Effectively, the goblins have been able to transform the factory over this short course of time, and at this point, the factory kind of more looks like this.
Holy shit!
I want to see.
I gotcha.
Well, get
So-
on roll 20 and you'll see it.
Shut up.
So, this is kind
Holy
of the
shit, that's
new
awesome.
new layout of things.
Hell yeah.
And there is the bridge has been repaired. You can actually traverse across the way to the other side of the second floor, which has mostly been kind of excavated and sorted through, and all of the, whatever small creatures have been inhabiting it besides the goblins have been cleared out. But
Hell yeah. Dude, so proud of my gobos.
several of the machines have become active again, and they have been in the process of converting a lot of the scrap metal into raw material that is actually usable once more.
Dude.
Even though you guys have suffered a tremendous loss and nearly lost a party member and now are in a precarious situation where your foes have a serious hand up over you guys, you are in a position where you can launch yourselves from this place to start to regain your footing and perhaps, even despite the odds, push back against the forces that have been working against you.
Hell yeah.
So,
Oh, I have a question.
yeah.
Given that the factory is now in this state of, looking like it actually
Looking cool.
looking together. Did the party of goblins I sent down to patch the hole in the lower level ever finish that task?
Yes, that has been done.
Cool. So we should have no more openings in the factory.
Theoretically, yes. Besides for some
physical openings.
Yeah. Aside for some small cracks and windows that have been blown out, the place is relatively, secure. Especially with the arrival of the druids and their... I don't know if you were here yet for this, Graticus, but they have actually begun the placing ritual sites around the factory to try and prevent people from being able to scry into the factory and teleport there as well.
Oh, awesome. Dude, sweet. So glad I decided we should bring these druids with us.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what?
It's like, obviously.
It's all your idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But duh, I'm the brains of this whole operation.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not Leon.
I beg to differ.
That man loves his puzzles. What are you talking about?
Right.
I mean,
It's
as
the
long
shit
as
he
they're
does on his
two-piece
free
puzzles,
time
he
when
can
he's not
usually put them
murdering
together.
people.
Everybody was talking at once there.
Go ahead, Keller.
Oh, I was just saying, as long as they're two-piece puzzles, he can put them together.
Well, I
Someone-
guess with that, yeah. Can I check the status before, I guess what I'll turn in up to the goblins I left in the vault? The basic instructions.
Yes. They report to you that whatever has been taken, is of minor value. They probably didn't even know that it wasn't a completed prototype. So there wasn't anything significant lost there.
Is the Arcano craft
That's still there.
hover bike? Oh, fuck, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, it's still hanging from the ceiling on the chains. We're gonna mess around with that.
All right. Oh, okay. I know what I want to start on. Then, need to.
Will you let us take a full rest so we can wake up in the morning, please?
Yeah, no. This is gonna be what I'm doing while you guys are taking a full rest, and technically this would be like my rest. Can I go down to the vault and start? Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
Can I work on the automaton that got destroyed?
So there's two things. You've already technically rolled for the thing you were going to do during your full rest, which was drafting up solutions and research to figure out what's going on with the ley crystal. The leaky ley crystal.
True.
So you can rescind that progress and make progress on that other thing if you want.
No, we need the progress on the ley crystal.
Okay.
Can I request that Torgrin? When he has time, just kind of give the automaton a once over and give me a diagnostic report?
a diagnostic report on...
The automaton, like, how badly damaged is this thing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can set him to kind of take a look into that, and he'll report to you the next morning.
Okay. Yep, that works.
Draco, you said you wanted to kind of establish a meditation space near the factory, at the very least.
In the factory, near the factory, somewhere where I can go to do the same thing that I did out in, the meditation area out in the desert.
Right. You go out, and as the druids are kind of like, they're scribing these lines in the sand, and at first you're kind of like, why would you write in the sand? It's going to get blown away in like 2 seconds. But then you start to see that as the lines are left in the sand, a strange kind of purplish blue light begins to trace and fill in the trough that was left behind. And you begin to see, all encircling the factory, these runes that glow up from the sand itself into the sky, with all different shapes and sizes and insignia and meanings. You find a spot where the sun is reaching the horizon on the western side of the factory. And basically, there's kind of like a dune of rock, actual rock, not just sand. But it ends at the very top in a sort of narrow plateau. And you sit cross-legged there, kind of looking into the sun, the direction of the sun at least. And you can feel this is kind of the point where the darkness of the corruption leaking into the sands behind you meets the boundary of untouched nature in the front of you. Go ahead and make a willpower check.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Oof.
Rough.
I don't have any momentum.
That's rough, buddy.
Can I
Okay.
pass him on?
If you're a bard.
And that's the one thing we don't have as a bard.
We don't need one.
Apparently
Amen.
we do.
We got a Leon. We don't need a bard.
Right? He's all the charm you would ever need.
Leon studies the College of Violence.
Right.
Exactly. May not be the College of Sex, but it's the College of Violence. It's even better.
Yeah, sex can be violent.
Jesus.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna glaze right over
Moving
that.
on. Try to keep it at least PG-13, guys. Come on.
Psych. See, that's why we don't need a bard.
So coitus could be violent.
There you go. That's much better.
Can't have the S word floating around.
So, unfortunately, Draco, you aren't able to kind of... You begin the process of kind of scribing your own set of runes atop this stone. It's going to take some time, though, before you feel, at ease. It's just at this very moment, sitting on the boundary between the factory and the rest of the desert, you feel open and exposed and vulnerable after everything that just occurred within, and you can't bring yourself to that same space as you had encountered in the circle of the desert.
Clouded mind versus clear mind. Got it. Okie dokie.
Mallory, go ahead.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. I was just going to ask if Mallorin had anything that he wanted to try and do before he took his rest.
Nope. Good.
Taz, you're good?
He stepped out to let his dogs out.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go to sleep.
Shut up.
Yes, Naz.
Would Zalandor's quarters, would they have been cleared by this point in time after everything we've done?
Yes, the gaping hole in the wall overlooking the factory still is there, but for the most part, the floor has been repaired to the point where you can walk on it without falling through, and it's been swept clean, reorganized.
I'm gonna move out of the barracks and I'm gonna move into Zalandor's old quarters.
Okay, and you see Big Ben, the remnants of Big Ben, just kind of still pushed into a big pile, sitting at the base of this tower.
Forgot all about Big Ben.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Big Ben's going to be coming back to life one way or another. But yeah, I'm hoping by staying in like Zalandor's old quarters, maybe I can draw some inspiration, to what to do with the factory.
The osmosis of genius.
Yeah,
As you do that, and you stay up into the wee hours of the night, digging into all of Zalandor's old notes and finding that, yes, indeed, the power source that fueled the factory was rather slapdash. It was not in its final iteration, and he just never had the chance to perfect it. Luna. She's hanging out over there with 1 health and 0 momentum and just terrified.
Poor girl is in like a deep fucking sleep over here. Can't even call it a sleep.
She just KO'd.
Oh, you're in a coma.
No, I'm not in a coma. Actually, I was awake until I did something stupid again.
Okay, I'm back.
And my patron decided to
Go sleep.
Punish you because you're a bad girl.
Sure.
Basically.
I guess basically pulled my ass into the fucking dark depths of fucking hell right now in my own damn mind.
Awesome.
So that's where she's at the moment because
So you're in suspended animation, got it.
Right. You know that the dark presence is out there in the shadows of your mind, but it is not moving to engage you. But you know that you could reach out to try to start a conversation if you wanted to. But if you don't, then you'll simply rest.
oh no. She's gonna, cause she's hella fucking pissed.
Okay.
She's just going to like, I'm talking like very quietly, kind of under her breath, just because she knows that he can hear it,
Mhm.
and ask, why out of all people would you have me do that? Why him?
You feel the presence kind of come up behind you over your shoulder, as it has done many times before. It says, I chose you because you are special in a way that you cannot understand yet. So I hope that you can understand my frustration when you are ready to simply throw that all away. And for what? Some pet?
He's not a pet.
He is a tool. They're all tools, don't you see that?
Out of character, sweet, you definitely treated him like a pet.
No, I didn't. We had several.
He was on a
actually
leash.
Had several fucking conversations. I kept him on a leash because I didn't want you fuckers to kill him.
I mean, to be fair, after a while, I forgot he existed. He was just kind of there.
By then, I had already let him off the fucking leash.
I guess it worked.
Like, he very well could have fucking left.
Where was he gonna go, though?
I mean, yeah, sure, we had his resting place, but, like, he could have fucking left.
Yeah, nothing was really holding him.
Exactly. I mean, he was out and about away from his resting place with the Stellar Court. He chose to stay. And for crying out loud, frickin' Dallin and my poor character had a hell of a heart-to-heart.
Quite literally.
Shut up.
Minimum distance of 15 feet. Maximum, I mean. Maximum.
Right.
But yes.
Anyways, she's gonna say tools. So, like, she's just gonna be her head's gonna be lower, just kind of looking, like, down. And she's gonna just quietly say tools with a question mark.
He says, we have a goal. We are to gain strength, and we do that by finding allies. But there is an important distinction between allies and friends. In our line of work, friends will get you killed.
So you would have me sacrifice those around me to keep myself alive. That's what you're asking.
I chose you because I see potential in you. You can do things that other people cannot. You've been touched by things beyond your comprehension. And you find yourself now in a situation where you are caught up with all of these powerful individuals. You cannot let an opportunity like this pass you by.
Pass me by or pass you by?
Us. It's always been us. You can almost feel like a spectral hand reaching over and grasping your other shoulder. You're not sure if it's comforting or not.
Shit. God. What would you have me do next?
Right now, out there, your friends are discussing how to get that ley crystal you had found back. The Stellar Court now has it. Which means that you are all in incredible danger. We need to get it back. Go along with your friend's plan. Just do whatever you have to do to make sure that you're the one left standing when the smoke clears.
And if I don't?
He doesn't respond. He just kind of recedes. As if he's had enough of this conversation.
Well, alright then.
The night passes, and you all get the benefits of a full rest.
Awesome.
Luna, you're back up to 5 health and 2 momentum.
Thank goodness.
Everyone is.
It's the only way I can get health, clearly. We've now established this. Even health kits don't work.
Right.
Well, it's good for me too. I was at 1 health, 1 momentum.
Well, I mean, whatever potion that was. Hey, speaking of potion,
Oh shit.
was there anything left in that potion bottle? Like, would there even be slivers of it? I know I like just shoved it down her throat to fucking keep her alive.
Yeah, you might find a drop, but at this point it's probably either
We clipped
evaporated
that.
or dried.
So there's no way for me to be like,
Nah,
figure out
there's
what
nothing
ingredients went into it.
salvageable at this point. You weren't thinking to preserve some of it at the time.
I was just thinking to save her.
Yep.
Now we know the only thing that can fucking bring her back to life is a fucking potion.
Until I make her a fucking life support system that just continuously keeps her alive, like fucking Darth Vader.
Knowing my goddamn luck, it won't work.
Then at
Or-
that point, you're just hopeless. There's nothing we can do for you.
She could just become a vampire.
Snaz, you fucking missed. Don't even. Snaz, you fucking missed it. Arathilus attempted to use his health kit,
Uh-huh.
requiring me to roll. It fucking failed. Then he
Wait.
attempted to use his own health to be able to heal me. It failed.
Jesus.
This shit's just like.
It's because you're too far. It's because you're too far in the hole, man.
I'm too far in the fucking darkness. You can't find me to heal me.
That's what I'm saying. You're too far in the hole, bruh.
It's crazy how it's just become perfectly canon, and even the fucking Roll20 won't even let her be healed.
Yep.
Without
Fates
a
have
doubt.
decided.
Roll20 has it out for you.
For healings, yep, Roll20 has now created a fucking canon that she cannot be healed except for just a straight there cannot be a roll for a heal for this to happen.
It's like somebody just Odin spoke into Mjolnir and threw it into existence. The day comes to you, the sun peeking through the factory windows on the eastern horizon. The druids and the goblins kind of switch their shifts. Some of them have been working through the night to kind of finish setting up the bases for the ritualistic protection and also the physical fortification of the factory. Luna, you are still tired, but you can, you're mobile now. Like, you've rested enough to the point where you can, maneuver and not be excessively hindered.
When she wakes up though, because it's been dawning on me and I haven't been able to do it because she has not been conscious long enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna hate the answers to these fucking questions and I know it. When she was brought back by the vampires, unconscious, having been clearly tortured, does she have any of her shit?
Oh, fuck.
Your enchanted dagger is missing.
God damn it.
Outside of that, you still have all of your possessions.
Holy shit.
Bro, you got lucky as shit, man.
I was fucking nervous. They took the crystal, they took Dallin, and I was terrified they had taken the fucking ley lightning on my goddamn waist belt.
They took your fucking enchanted dagger.
See, but they didn't take that, though. That was slapped onto my hands, and it is sitting in limbo in the woods. Unless, of course, when we get there, and I just so happen to not be able to find it, and shit just turns around, they find out that they fucking found it instead.
Retrofitted for living souls instead of undead ones.
God.
So, is there a way that she'd be able to go down to the vault to check out the location that held Dallin's resting place and the arcane device that held the other vampire?
Yes, you could go down and seek that out for sure.
So you could probably also just ask the goblins that I left down there.
I want to be like, I want my character to be able to like lay eyes on it.
Oh, all right.
Because I mean, she sealed it with a blood ritual that should have only been able to be her that opened it. So I'm trying to figure out how they opened it, if they knew that, and if they did know that, how did they know that?
Well, I will go with you, as it is you're going to the vault.
So
You'll need me to get in.
Okay. Graticus, you
will she
encounter
though?
you encounter Luna as she's coming out of her resting quarters, and you have to do a double take because there is a series of leaves and a couple of small flowers sprouting out of her neck where her slash had been.
The fuck? I look at Luna and say, taking up gardening recently?
Do what? What are you on about?
I knew you might have been a little bit flowery, but I didn't realize it was to this extent.
Yeah, the leaves are like a deep crimson, and the small flowers are kind of like a pinkish kind of color. And Luna, you feel a little bit of a tickle in your side as well, kind of underneath your clothing.
I'm not gonna go directly at it. I'm just gonna keep like alluding to some shit.
Luna, make an awareness check for me.
Jesus fuck.
I'm having too much fun with this.
Hey! She's on a roll tonight!
You kind of feel your neck, and you're just like, what in the flip? And you feel your side. There's more leaves and a flower there as well.
What the hell?
That is the 42 that you rolled on that D100.
Are you becoming a dryad?
What the hell?
From the potion I gave her?
Yep. Its magic seemed to rejuvenate her, and at the same time, it kind of embellished, one might say.
She's a daisy if you do.
But dude,
Fucking Mother Earth.
Oh my god.
So
She's
is
an
there,
oak.
Can I like,
She's
I don't know,
become
is
poison
there
ivy.
a way that I can kind of like pull it, one of the ones that are on my side? Like, is it like fully attached? Does it hurt if I pull on them? Like,
yeah, as you pull and kind of tug on it, it's the equivalent of like pulling on, your arm or hair on your head. It's like it's rooted in. It's part of you.
oh shit.
Bro, you're a fucking dryad.
I'm gonna look at Graticus and go, what the fuck did you guys do to me?
No, not me. Okay, I don't know what's happening to you, but I got a serious question. Are you the Lorax, and do you speak for the trees?
No, I speak for nobody but myself at this point in time.
Well, apparently, whatever's going on to you is speaking a lot about you. Oh God.
Dude,
I
she's
look at
freaking
Luna.
sweet tooth.
I look at Luna and tell her, it's going to be hard to take you seriously now with pretty little flowers growing out of you.
With that awareness check, also, Luna, there's a perpetual, very pleasant fragrance kind of wafting up from underneath your face.
Jesus!
Oh, you smell good. Can I walk up to her and ask her if she finally found a way to take a bath?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
You
probably.
smell
I
pretty.
don't think any of you have been able to properly like wash up in weeks.
Probably not.
It would have
I
to
look,
Poor
be
Luna's
exciting.
just
Hey, how
covered
did
in
you figure out
blood.
how to get so clean?
bro. I look at Draco and say, you know, now be careful. We have to water her twice a day.
Fucking hell.
Make sure
And I
she gets
just
enough
jokingly
sunlight.
draw a couple, like, little squirt of air or water out of the air and kind of like flick it at her. Jokingly.
You're just gonna spritz her flowers.
I say we got to give her some fresh soil, guys. I don't think she's a desert plant.
Might not be in the mindset for this.
Christ.
Oh, this is just the beginning. These jokes are not ending anytime soon.
Oh man. So yeah, that's a thing now.
Hey, Luna.
When
you were with the vampires, did they tell you that you were a succulent?
Oh my god.
That was bad.
You know, we're probably on the lucky side those fuckers didn't actually try to turn me at this point.
Roll a mind saving throw, Graticus.
Roll it for me.
Nah, I'm not gonna do
I'll
Don't push-
roll one
don't
for
push
him.
it,
I'm
though.
just kidding.
I'm sorry, that joke was good.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
The DM said that was tasteless.
He's a little green, a little new to this sort of thing.
Fucking nomad. I just now read your message.
So, Luna, you were going to head down to the vault.
To check out the location where I had Dallin's resting place.
All right. As you kind of go by, a lot of the goblins kind of just like, ooh, looking at your flowers and stuff like that. And some of the druids are just like, kind of give you a side eye and just like, you hear one of them mumbling, he's like, we're going to have to talk to Draco about that one.
Fucking Luna hates attention. Shit.
But eventually you and Graticus do make it down to the vault where Dallin's resting place and the vampire Pokeball had been locked away. Go ahead and make a awareness check for me.
I'm gonna use a momentum to make that pass.
Okay. You notice that basically the locker door, essentially, that you had placed your blood rune on, is lying on the ground, or like kind of propped up against the shelf across from it, and it seems twisted and warped. It almost looks as if, kind of looking around, you can see the trajectory of its history. Someone did open it and ended up suffering some rather explosive repercussions. But even still, the entire locker where the items had been stored is empty.
So someone basically just said fuck it and basically sacrificed themselves to open this locker.
Yeah, either that or severely underestimated whatever sort of enchantment had been there, or maybe didn't even notice that it was there before they tried. You don't know for sure, but...
Or they were forced.
That too.
I will have you make a magic check for me, though, on top of that, real quick.
Ow. Hold up.
Oh boy.
Our fucking momentum.
She's getting a bird through it already. Second roll of the day.
think I have anything that would help me with that.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So you don't have anything else to glean from this scene. All you know is that the vampire that was trapped is gone. Dalen's resting place is gone. This locker has been pretty much blasted asunder. And there are no remains of, or trace of any, whoever might have been on the receiving end of that blast.
Okay. I guess Luna's next step is just, at this point, she's gonna go and start searching for Malloran.
Interesting. Draco,
Yes.
some of the druids come up to you rather quickly, and they look to you and say, do you have any idea what exactly was in that potion that you gave to Luna?
I smelled it. It smelled like a healing potion. Didn't smell bad. So I didn't have quite really the chance to dissect the potion. No, I just dumped it down her throat to save her life.
Uh-huh. Well, as effective as it was in stabilizing her, they kind of look at each other, trying to find the words to describe what this occurred. She got they kind of motioned to her throat. She's got a growth there.
Growth.
Yeah, I think we noticed that. Do you guys have any idea what this could be?
They look at each other and are like, we've never seen anything like that before. Unless she's suddenly revealed to be a half nymph or something.
Do you think a simple healing potion would have caused something like that to happen?
Our theory is that whatever you gave her was not a simple healing potion.
So she's cursed?
Well, we don't know for sure yet, but we could investigate as to the nature of it.
Do I have the vial because I've inspected it? Can I show them what I had, what I gave her? Maybe they can just surmise what.
There's really
the smell of it
nothing.
or...
Yeah, at this point, it's sat overnight. Any residue is dried up or evaporated, and there's no real markings or anything indicating what it actually was on the bottle.
Where did you get this potion from?
It was on the bench in your lab.
Same place that you got your experimental potions, Naz.
Fucking Woggett experiment now.
Oh, alright then.
I mean, I opened it, I sniffed it, smelled fine. It saved your life. What can I say?
Yeah, they can't argue with that.
The smell test does not always work.
I mean, didn't die.
Yeah.
Did you die?
Yeah.
I'll say, you're not gonna die. You might bloom, but you won't die.
Fucking hell, I'm gonna have to start outrunning druids at this point. Goddamn fuckers are gonna follow me like puppy dogs.
She smells good.
It's gonna be new paparazzi.
Oh god. I just wonder if
do you have 5 minutes for an interview?
I wonder if we can harvest the flowers off of you.
Ow?
No, I mean, if the flowers are on vines, we could probably cut the flowers off of you and maybe
Jesus.
analyze
Just gonna
them.
prune Luna?
No, I'm saying, if the flowers are on vines, which means they're not directly attached to her, we can cut some petals or cut a flower off and analyze it, and maybe we can, surmise what, and we can reverse engineer and figure out what the hell was in that potion.
I'm just surprised Luna hasn't tried to kill me yet.
I'm gonna look at Graticus and Draco both and his little druid buddies and say, if you come anywhere near me with shears, they may very well end up in your neck.
I wasn't going to cut anything off of you. That was Graticus that was mentioning that, by the way.
Fine, whatever.
Path of destruction is the easiest way for Graticus sometimes.
I wasn't trying to destroy it. I was trying to use scientific method.
Taz walks up with a tree tap and goes, "Syrup."
Oh shit!
Syrup.
I look at
I don't think
Taz.
she's in the mood to play.
I look at Taz and say, "No, the vampire's already tapped that."
Oh, you better hope they didn't, because then you're gonna have a whole nother world of bullshit that may happen.
Might be some body saving throws to make in the near future.
Jesus Christ. Gonna wake up and there's gonna be two fucking leaves in the form of a puncture wound that we didn't even fucking know was there, Snaz. God!
Or you're gonna wake up and your skin's gonna be green and your hair is gonna be made of vines.
Yeah, let's hope not. But I'm gonna look at Taz and be like, trust me, this sap isn't gonna be sweet, it's gonna be bitter. And just fucking walk away.
Probably rich in iron.
Yeah.
Taz is gonna follow and be like, "Fine, just give me a little bit of sap then."
God.
Taz wants to sap that.
I look at
Sap
I look
that
at Taz.
all on the floor.
I look at Taz and say, "That's fine. I'll hold her down. You get the sap, and then we'll make some waffles."
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Cheese
So-
and rice.
What is the plan? What do you guys want to do?
We gotta figure out this locomotion of whatever freaking craziness is going on.
I'm gonna take a brief minute to go get a piece of scrap metal and make a sign for Luna's room that says Luna's Vineyard.
Luna's on her way to look for Mallorin. So
Okay.
that's
Taz
what
is gonna
she's
help.
doing.
Taz is gonna help Graticus and be like, "So we make wine then? She sure does wine a lot, doesn't she?"
Yeah, she does. You know what? We should get some we should get a planter box and some stakes. Gotta hold the vines up.
Right.
And if she has a vampire,
Some trellises, maybe.
stake on her.
Dual purpose.
Yeah, dual purpose.
I'm gonna go free. I'm gonna
He's
Go
at a loss
meditate.
for words.
yeah, I need to meditate on this to see if I need to figure out if I can see if anything's changed with the.
Okay. Let's do one thing at a time.
Go.
Oh, well, yeah. So.
You just say nothing's changed. It's okay.
Yeah.
My mind's still fucked and blocked from everything.
So basically what happens is you sit down and you try to get into that meditative state. You had a nice evening's rest, perhaps some night terrors, but nothing too extreme. And as you are beginning to settle into that meditative state, Leon just goes and rushes out into the desert, his sword drawn, screaming bloody murder. As you open your eyes and look off into the distance and can see the fins of a couple of land sharks passing by out in the distance.
Leon must be hungry.
And he's going. He's running and running. He goes up one dune, disappears behind it, goes up the next dune.
You might want to catch him.
He'll eventually come back. He knows where he's fed.
I think he's trying to get food. I guess I don't have time to scream. What are you doing, Leon?
I mean, you technically could. There's no guarantee he'll respond to you, but
Yeah, I guess I scream at him for him to just come back. Not right now. This isn't the time for that.
Just scream at him, say, "Bad ASMR, bad!
right, down, boy, down, heal."
Don't make me get the squirt bottle."
Go ahead and
Lock Leon in a room and put a leash on his ass.
right. Make a charm check for me, Great Draco.
So the thought has crossed my mind.
Yep, no, that fails too.
Yeah, he's ignoring you. He just keeps running off into the distance.
Poor man's got a vengeance out on those damn land sharks.
I think I'm just gonna hope he comes back.
Okay.
He'll eventually come back.
All right.
Hope eventually. Hopefully.
Eventually.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Mallorin, in the meantime,
Yes.
you're kind of going about your daily, routine, getting up in the morning, getting yourself some breakfast from some of the goblins who had kind of prepared some of the fresher stuff that the druids have started to plant, interspersed throughout the factory.
What about Luna's room?
Well, that's the thing is, Mallorin, you notice Luna walk up to you, and she has some foliage sprouting from her neck.
Fuck. What happened to you?
Apparently, I've become the new experiment with some potions.
Sure, it could be worse.
This is true. Which, brings me to why I'm here. Spoke to Zeleneth last night. And, she informed me that she's trying to take me away from my patron. Why?
You said something about not wanting to get up with your patron. About how he's... I don't know.
I'm gonna look at Mallorin and basically just kind of lay it out there and tell him that if Zeleneth thinks that she can just simply get in between me and my patron, it's gonna be a lot harder than that. And if she's got a problem with it, she knows how to contact me and walk away.
Okay.
Cool.
Just middle finger to the fucking god of yours, basically.
Mallorin, you hear the voice of Zeleneth speaking to your consciousness, and says, "See what I mean?" All right. So, Draco, you attempted to meditate, and by the time you kind of get yourself back into that position again, you hear Leon calling out from the distance. He's kind of like just yelling out your name.
Alright, I guess I'll go see what Leon's into.
So you kind of step out into the dunes, and as you crest, the first one, standing upon its top, you watch as Leon is running back towards you, his sword in hand, just like going full speed in your direction. And he begins to descend that side of the dune. And as he does so, all of a sudden, the top of the dune behind him explodes as a land shark just sails out and into the air above Leon, basically.
I guess I'm going to attempt to see if I can get a landworm. One of the worms to see if I can get
Ooh,
ride it away.
it's like a kaiju battle right now. Go ahead and make a willpower check.
Fuck me.
Yeah, sweet, that is 100% accurate.
Apparently, my brain is just so jacked from seeing Luna with all her green shit. Willpower. Yep. Nope.
Nada? No dice? Yeah, so you attempt to reach out to the desert worm, but unfortunately it's a little far away, and by the time that it actually comes to assist you, either both of you will be dead or it will be dead.
Alright, well, since it's not answering, I guess fucking gonna spit acid on the fucking thing. Hopefully I can stop it. I know where its weak spot is this time.
This is true. So I'm just going to turn this into a
2v1.
basically a one roll ordeal. So I'm going to have you do your willpower one more time as an attack, and we'll see just how effective you are at
That
taking care of
passes.
business. Okay. Is that a weak hit or a strong hit?
It's a weak hit. But it
Okay,
passes.
it's a weak hit. So roll for me 1d4 minus 2.
-1.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
So basically, this is the amount of damage you would have taken in combat with this thing.
So I gained damage, or I gained a health?
No, you gain a momentum.
Oh, I gained a momentum.
Yep.
Even better.
So both you and Leon kind of work together to distract and then get alternating strikes in on this thing until eventually it is worn down to the point where it collapses into the sand, dead.
I guess I'm going to look at Leon and be like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude?
He's like, I'm getting a little tired of all of this vegetables and fruit, man. We're running out of meat.
That's such a Leon answer.
Take this back to the factory, and there's your meat.
He's like, fuck yeah, it is. He starts pulling on the thing's fin, trying to drag it through the sand.
I'm gonna, because it's so big, I'm gonna use my willpower to use the sand to help give it some locomotion and move it across the desert.
Okay. No rules necessary.
No rolls necessary.
No rolls necessary. You're able to kind of almost like the kind of scenario where you have several logs that you're lining up against each other to roll something across. It's kind of That's kind of the effect that you get with the dunes rolling through the sand underneath this thing's body. Okay. So what were you saying?
Oh, I was just. So the sand's acting like ball bearings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just rolling it. He's pushing it, but it's just rolling across the sand.
Right. Yeah, you're basically giving him the. You're decreasing the friction that he has to work against.
Gotcha.
And you guys do get it, pulled through the factory doors, and some of the druids are just like, what just happened here? And then Leon immediately just plunges his sword like deep into the thing's body and starts carving it up. And they're just
He
like,
said he was tired of eating fruits and vegetables.
He like literally pulls one of the ribs out of this thing's body and says, and I had a bone to pick with these guys.
That's a Leon answer too. Jeez.
Poor man had an iron deficiency he had to figure out.
Right. Okay. So, is there anything that you're trying to do there, Luna? Or you just kind of spend some time in Dalen's area?
She's gonna go to Dalen's room and just kind of start walking around to see if she can see anything of importance before she figures out her next move.
Okay.
So you're gonna bloodhound it then?
Wait, what?
Pick up the scent. Track him down.
I mean, maybe.
Roll an awareness check for me.
Shit. That passes.
Okay. You kind of step into the room and just the emptiness of it hits you. All of his little knickknacks and trinkets that he had started collecting, across his journeys. He's got like a spare set of clothes lying on basically the foot of his bed. And there's a small footlocker that kind of is containing, various bits and bobs, some trophy pieces from the land sharks he had slain previously, teeth and stuff like that. But you know that he's not here. You don't know where he is currently. But on the floor, next to the footlocker, kind of underneath the bed a little bit, hidden behind one of the legs, the wooden legs, you see a small silver ring.
She's gonna pick it up and inspect it.
It's pretty plain. There's not a whole lot on the outside. It's just smooth silver banding. And as you're spinning it in your fingers, you notice something on the inside. And it's a pair of letters. D with a plus sign, and then an L.
You're fucking ripping my heart out and eating it in front of me again. Can I detect anything off of this ring?
Roll a magic check for me.
That is definitely not a pass.
As far as you can tell, it's a mundane ring. Just plain old band of silver.
Luna's just gonna put it on for safekeeping.
Okay. Go ahead and mark Dalen silver band in your inventory.
Okay.
All right. Eventually, some of the druids come up to you, Draco, and they kind of gather you up and start to, corral basically all of your group as they want to have a discussion with you. And essentially, what is revealed is based off of Graticus's calculations and even just, the complexity and immensity of the idea of moving the factory itself is probably a long ways off. Just the structural integrity of this place, even if it was to be lifted in its current condition, it would probably fall apart as it was trying to move.
Gotcha. Didn't think it would work.
But what they do tell you is there are ways to use some druidic presence to follow basically a life form that you are familiar with. And basically, Draco, they're kind of reminding you of some of the things that Vaughn had taught you way back when in the jungles. Especially, when he paired you up with Scar and sent you out to pursue. You know that there are ways that you can attempt to track down some of the, perhaps some Dalen himself, or any of the other people who might have been involved to see if you can't recover what has been lost. Also, you remember that Vaughn had reached out to you and, well, you had reached out to him, but you had this kind of a shared understanding that you were to meet him outside the city of Taklavat sometime soon.
Right. I forgot about that. All this craziness. Oh. Well, I guess I inform Luna and the rest of the party that I was supposed to meet up with Vaughn, and they can come with me, and then I'll kind of hint to Luna that, I might know of a way that we can try to find out where Dalen is. Dalen? Whatever the fuck his name is.
Pretty sure it changes every time I say it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll inform her that I can. The druids reminded me of an old trick that I remembered now. But I have some business to take care of back in Taklavat. And Taklavat, right?
Yep, the capital city.
Yeah. The capital city, yeah, Taklavat. And that it's a must that I need to go attend to that business. So I'm going whether they go or not. But like I said, I revealed to Luna that once I get there, I might be able to be close enough to try to figure out where Dalen is.
I'm going to look back at Draco and basically tell him if he's headed to Taklavat, so am I.
Okay. I wouldn't expect anything less at this point.
The rest of the group, Olnan and Leon, all step up and say the same.
Taz is gonna look at him and be like, "And you have Mr. Freeze."
I fucking love Taz.
The Frozone Gabo.
All right. Well, guys, let's
As you guys,
Draco. Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as you guys are beginning to prepare to make travel arrangements, however you plan on doing that, technically Rodicus is with you as well with his amulet and a teleportation circle. So you can decide amongst yourselves how you want to try and go about travel, since technically, the sandworms can carry you a certain distance as well. But
yeah, I think we're probably should journey this one out. Like, sandworms take us to the desert, or take us to the edge of the desert, and then use stealth as an advantage to kind of walk our way back to where I need to meet up with. Yeah, what's his face? I can't freaking remember. Why do I
Vaughn.
always draw a blank? Vaughn.
Yep. And as you are making these arrangements, Bradicus and several of you hear a familiar voice come into the periphery of your consciousness. And it says, "Hey, how's it going, guys? It's been a while since we've talked. Just wondering kind of what the status is of, like, you guys being wanted by the Mafia and all of that. Turns out Havarl Knox, who I've been working with for a little while now, has need of an artificer, so it would be kind of cool if you could swing by, as long as you guys, like, aren't wanted criminals and stuff. So, what's the update there?" And this is the voice of Kaisun, who has been left with Havarl Knox to kind of research the ruins that you had explored a long while ago.
Wanted criminals. Yeah. Wanted by the Mafia, and because the Mafia has their hands in with the law enforcement, I guess we're always going to be wanted criminals.
If Havarl Knox wants our services again, he can very well bring us right to his tower. We can discuss the arrangements that way.
There's kind of a pause, just like a gap in the conversation. For he comes back and says, "Okay, well, talking to the guy himself, he's not particularly thrilled about, bringing wanted criminals into his tower. He could bring you in if, kind of keep it on the down low, and you let him know where to retrieve you from. It is kind of important to him, and apparently he's willing to agree to that, if you so choose."
Luna gladly will. I don't know about the others.
I guess if Luna's going, he's already going to know where the hell we're at. So,
Nah,
and if he doesn't,
she's just gonna walk out into the dunes a couple of ways, and she'll go that way.
I don't necessarily trust Havarl Knox that much right now, but he would know where we were if he was already part of the Stallard Court, wouldn't he?
That's
Also,
a
you
wide
remember,
assumption
Luna,
there.
the last time that you tried to have Havarl scry you in the middle of the desert and then pick you from that spot, it was not effective.
I know.
Shit. Of course. Gabo's gonna be pissed.
Now, Radicus mentions that if he has a teleportation circle in his tower and was willing to share basically the address of that circle, you could use the circle of the factory to bring yourselves from here to there.
Dude, the circles have IP addresses?
Basically.
Apparently.
They've got to dial up,
All you hear is just dial-up screeching.
I mean, I'm more than willing to hop over to Havarl Knox's tower.
Yeah.
Whether it's here, there, or somewhere else that he pulls me up from.
Ah, hell yeah.
Well, I gotta go. So, I'm assuming that will Havarl Knox share his address per se?
How about Luna make a charm check for me?
That passes. Of course it does, right?
That's why he had you do it.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, you kind of reach back out to Kaizun and explain that, as long if he has a teleportation circle, then you can definitely get there and be willing to converse with him about that stuff. And much to your surprise, though there is a little bit of a pause in the conversation yet again, takes him a second to get back to you. Knox agrees. And Graticus is given the details of how to arrive at Havarl Knox's tower circle. And as long as there aren't any other preparations that you guys want to make before setting off, we'll end the session with the group disappearing in a flash, heading on their way to the heart of Taklafat.
I was gonna say the only thing that Luna's gonna want to do before we end session tonight is an attempt to mentally connect with Dallin, if there's a way of doing it.
Okay. Roll a magic check for me.
That passes.
That's a weak hit, I'm betting.
Yeah, 12 is my...
Roll a D100 for me. Okay. So are you trying to send him a message? Is that what's going on here?
Just to kind of reach out to make she's wanting to connect with Dallin to make sure that he is okay and reachable. Like, the Stallard Court hasn't, completely ripped him from existence or being able to connect with.
Okay.
And just kind of let him know that I'm coming for him.
Okay. You kind of focus your power and you think back to the moment where your life was on the precipice and you found that tether. You were presented that tether by your patron at that time, but now you find it of your own volition. And you kind of grasp a hold of it and see that it is firm, that it is anchored. And you kind of give it a slight tug. And you understand somehow that it has been felt on the other end.
So, since she's able to kind of grasp it, can Luna almost basically, when you're holding a rope and you really want to make sure you don't let go of it and it's going nowhere, you wrap it around your wrist a couple times while holding on to it? That's what I want her to do.
Okay.
Just I'm talking just fucking take the tether and whip it and put a death grip or just wrap that bitch.
Gotcha. So you
She'll.
begin to... Oh, what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say she'll lose an arm before she loses that connection.
Exactly.
Literally. So basically what happens is you kind of come to the understanding that whatever sort of magic you had done before to, magically and spiritually, in a sense, bind yourself to Dylan. There's still a remnant of that tie that you're able to detect, his being. You don't necessarily know where it's coming from or how far it is, but you know that he's out there. And since now that you have been able to find it for yourself, you focus on that and meditate on it to make sure that you will always be able to check on it, basically at a moment's notice. And you feel that you're pretty confident that you've gotten proficient at that.
Fucking bet. Good. Trust me. If that fucking tether breaks, that shit's gonna be painful as hell, let me tell you what. That's how tight she is holding on to this damn tether.
So, I have a question.
Yes.
I haven't met this wizard we're going to see yet, right?
No, you have not met Havarl Nox yet.
That's his name. Okay.
Yep. But you're about to.
Cool. I get to make ice puns. This is going to be awesome.
Oh boy. Outside of just the flower stuff, but now I have to deal with Mr. Ice.
Jesus.
Are you going to say it's ice to meet him?
Damn straight.
I'm looking forward to this. So unless there's anything else you guys want to do in the factory before you depart?
Havarl Nox. I'm good.
I'm
Ready
good.
to beam me up, Scotty.
Okay.
Off into the dial-up noises we go.
The etheric net. As Graticus activates the circle and you all have gathered yourselves into the center of it, you feel yourself begin to discorporate, and it's almost as if you are being turned into a ghost and then shot through existence at light speed. You feel lightning coursing through you, and you become the lightning, and you start coursing through the galaxy. Eventually, the terminal velocity of etheric speed that you are basically weaving in and out of existence through comes to an abrupt halt as you reappear solid form within a familiar chamber, a great domed room with a slot that is basically opened up by a set of sliding doors to the sky, and this great mechanical contraption pointed up into the clouds, the sun shining down. And you see Kaizun and Havarl Nox standing just in front of it, waiting for your arrival. And that is where we'll pick up next time.